Okay, we're going to be working on a big keyword area. This could be equal to a anchor offer of traffic. I don't think it'll be as relevant as wine, but it's going to be relevant in a lot of different areas. And there is a lot of different places we can post it that we're not posting wine. There is a lot of areas where this is going to ring in and make sense for a lot of people. It is also one of those fun areas in marketing where we don't need to create fear. There's enough fear about it, and fear is a problem in and by its own. And I think we've seen this in history repeat itself over and over again. But in recent history, with COVID and the big pharma and what science is looking like they're doing, and I mean the bad science, it's, and I say bad because I think it disarms people, is amazing, the knowledge that comes out. But we're going to be working on the EMF protection space, and the problems with EMF and what they create is remarkable. Okay. And we're going to be studying this a lot more. We're going to be putting a lot of emphasis on this over the next coming month. It's also an amazing area that we're going to start tuning into towards the holidays, and especially towards how it relates to food and our bodies and consumption. And there's going to be some really awesome added presentation videos that are underway that we're going to be able to add to this too. And you guys know, I mean, verbiage, the words, we're going after keywords right now. That's what we're going to focus on. Keywords is, text, right? The content marketing. But if the content brings them in and we can give them a really good presentation on video, that makes a lot more sense. It helps the sales process. It helps the whole marketing to ordering. And people are more awake on things than they were before. But when it comes to EMF, the amount of electromagnetic force that we're getting, or I've had a couple students bring to my attention, EMF is the definition words of it are two different things, or electromotor force, electromotor, like it's the same thing. It's electricity running and emitting current frequencies that are going through our carbon-based bodies. The more electronics, you guys, and we've gone up in a crazy number. And so I went through a presentation on it, and I've been studying this a lot. We used to only have about, if you look at the moon and the earth as sizes, we used to only have about the EMF size of like the moon coming around us. Okay. Today, it's like the size of the earth. There's so much more, we'll call it radiation. It's a frequency radiation going through. And when you look under a microscope, what 5G does just by itself to your brain and your cellular construction in your body, it's enough to scare anybody. It's not, something's happening, right? And and I'm going to just talk about a couple more things. And this is one of those things, like, you can just research it, get enough facts to write on it, it'll scare the bejeebies out of you. But they have these smart readers they put on new condominiums, new homes. We actually have a version of it here, and we've had issues with ours. It's weird issues, but they emit a lot of this EMF. So and people around that have had huge signs of depression, suicidal tendencies, if not suicide. And this is all tied to EMF. And like, how much is enough to our brain gets the fog and all the things. And, and we talk about the brain product and how it helps with the mental fog. But I have to just bring up a couple points just from observations of my own over the years. I don't remember people talking about fog too much 20 years ago. Now, granted, I was 20 years younger, but I've been dealing with, clients, in all ages. It seemed like it was rampant the last 10 years. More and more people are like, I just can't think clear. And and more people are getting like on Adderall and different things to help try to get focus. And you look at all the different things that are growing, the amount of children that are born with autism or on the spectrum, they call it the spectrum, right? And the increase of all these things, there's a correlation. The correlation is we've been increasing our cellular bandwidth, our Wi-Fi bandwidths. We've been incurring bigger and bigger ways to communicate past media, but at what cost, right? What are we doing? And when we all want these things, but is there something we should do to protect ourselves or shield ourselves? And if there is, why aren't we doing it? And I can see where EMF dampening, different things are going to be coming out, but where there is whenever there's an action, there's a reaction, and whenever there's a problem, there's a solution. And in marketing, we're looking for solutions. Now, I'm going to just focus on this for the next month or two in a heavy way, and we'll put the content up and record it because you guys will all get the idea. But there's solutions, and we want to get more things that we can adapt here. We've already got an angle on it. We've already got an aisle for it, and we want to hone in and get even more things that are going to be coming down the road, right? I think this is definitely an area of interest, but it's also one that on the keywords, the products that are out there that we're competing with, it's still wide open, I guess is my point. It's not like, wow, this is going to be hard to get into. I think it's an easy entry for content marketing, keyword marketing. So that being said, I'm going to start writing some headlines and some ads based on that. I've been really studying on this a lot, and I haven't marketed this. So you guys are going to get a really good glimpse of how I do this without the knowledge of practice. Like, I haven't been writing ads on this. I wrote those pages for you guys. I'm spending some time. It's definitely an area of interest. I'll let you guys know that there's the different pyramids, the different crystals. I have them all throughout my house, and I have since I was in my teens. I carry, I have these things. I believe in the results of those, and I sleep where I meditate, and where I sleep, I have lots of the pyramids and the coil systems that reduce that, so that when I'm sleeping, I don't have all that radiation around me. I've heard a lot of people sleep without their phone. I need to keep my phone by me. So I keep my phone in a place where I have it protected from the EMF radiation. But I need to have mine by me. And if I didn't, I would keep it in the other room so that I'm not sleeping with it next to me. I have alerts based on the lead generation servers and other systems that go off. And because I want to know if something's wrong, I'm a control freak, I keep it for me for that reason. But I put it in a protected spot that that allows that to happen. And I'll tell you, it allows it to happen without, with some protections on it. And the more I study this, the more I know it, it's, when you have an understanding, I feel like you have a duty to share with others. I don't keep that information in. I think you should share it. Keeping the information that's vital to people's mental health, especially. And that's the biggest area of concern I have with this is, if you've got, all sorts of EMF going on around you, and we'll call it EMF radiation going on around you, it has to be affecting something like your sleep patterns, your brain processes, and life sucks as it is. So how many more things do we need to add to it to make it hard? How many more complications do we, need to put that on there? And, I look at the suicide rates since cell phones were put out, and these are just correlations. Suicides have gone up, especially in males, since we started using these devices. It's a problematic thing. At some point, there's a correlation. I don't believe in coincidences. And, and I'm not saying everybody should throw their cell phone away. I mean, that's exactly what I'm not saying. I'm just saying we need to find a better way to do it. And, when you have lots of proactive scientists that don't work for the cell phone tower companies telling us that 5G is bad. Has anybody heard that 5G is great for you? Has anybody ever heard that? Has someone ever told you that 5G is great for your body? Because I haven't heard it once. what I've heard a lot of is it's not good for us. Even the closer you are to the tower, the more dangerous it can be. And you know, they're already working on 7G. How much more things are they going to put out? So, you know, and I'm not saying this to scare everybody here. I don't need to. When you read it and you go through it, at some point you're like, this is kind of scary. I need to do something about it. And you know, there's solutions coming out there, but as a marketer, take the emotion out of it personally and my worries for my kids and my grandkids. Take the emotion out of that. This is a keyword centric location to go have some fun with. And I also know that there's going to be some great tie-ins, and I started doing that in my writing because if people they're understanding frequency and they understand that there's good and there's bad and there's a way to protect it. There's also a thing when you've got the right type of EMF protection going on where it's going to affect the foods you consume. Our foods are carbon-based too. Everything is carbon-based. Frequency and carbon-based. At the end of it, we're all just we're just a tone. It's a very awesome topic to talk about, but at the frequency level of our bodies, there's good and there's bad, and the same with the foods we eat. And there is things that you can do and tell, and it's going to help with our absorption. It's going to help with our cellular level to take things in. I have some other interesting things that are going on. And if you go back to correlations, we started getting fat when McDonald's was put everywhere. Burger Kings were everywhere. Fast food was more and more there. Engineered foods. Well, I really think that the powers that be have a lot to do with the foods that we're getting in those. I mean, they engineer the food, but more and more we got cell phones, cell connections. We had modifications in even the internet, right? We went from copper wire internet. You guys ever remember the dial tones and the modems? And then we went to fiber, right? Fiber optics. We're going into satellite now, and we're changing the frequency of the devices we use on a regular basis. And we have this engineered food everywhere, and people are getting fatter, sicker, more cancers came out. There's more carcinogens out there that they're releasing. There's a lot of things, and the more I study it, the more I understand it. It's like, wow, these are awesome problems, and awesome problems need awesome solutions. And the ones that solve it are marketers. We educate and get in front of the consumer with the solutions. And you guys, in case I've never said this before, what we do as performance bloggers, what we do as marketers will never go away. There is always something we got to educate on and be a solution for. And once we learn the gift of it or the art of it, I actually think it's a great gift because it blesses so much. But once we learn the art of this marketing that we're doing, we just keep doing that same thing on every product or direction. So I philosophized a lot. I think it's really important for me to get into it, why we focus that right way, but also that's where my content creation comes from. And we've got to find a way to get the message out there. But the bigger the problems, the bigger the solutions. The bigger solutions, usually, the more there is to gain financially and being part of that solution. So I look for problems to solve. Therefore, there's a means to make an income on connecting that solution, right? Remember, at the end of the day, we connect products and services with the consumer. I'm going to drop something. I'm going to be announcing some things on the meeting on the 25th. These are going to be pre-announcements that I will be covering on Tuesday calls going forward. We have, guys, what we have right now is absolutely phenomenal. And if we just focus on what we have now, we have plenty to do for years and years to come. However, there's some other problems we're going to be solving. And 2023 is going to be ginormous. I think that's a word, ginormous. It's going to, you guys, it is incredible. And it's all building upon what we already have in motion. It's all adding to what we have and not incurring additional overheads. It's just incurring additional income streams that circularly market with what we already have. So it's because we built the right infrastructure and the right distribution, we can do it. So the philosophy session, I'll still continue, but now we're going to start doing some work. I'm going to share my screen, optimize this. You guys, this is the nitty-gritty of how to generate traffic and spend the right time in the right areas where a few links can really build up. And we want to do mass exposure. So I'm going to start this off with the headlines and ad training. I'm going to hit the get link. I'll go ahead and share it. You guys should all have access to it. We make this one of our steps when we're getting new students launched. I'm going to go ahead and share that link in the chat. That takes you to all the stuff that we do the training on. I'm going to come here and do a new folder. And we have so much that we gotta do training on, but we're gonna focus on this for the next little bit, and then we're gonna switch back to the Vivo watches for a bit. Big huge rollouts on that on September 26th. So Tuesday the 27th, just know training is going to be up to date. We're going to have some big announcements. Tuesdays are big. You guys know that already. All right, so I'm going to come here. I have the EMF. Actually, I already have that. Watch that. I'm going to remove it. We're going to just keep it in one place. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to make a copy. And I'm going to move those to the EMF one. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna open that up. I'm gonna open this up and copy the templates for the ads. This just makes it easy to put it in shopping and everything else. This is the shopping category. I like doing these templates because it gives me a starting point. So so this will be the ad posting I'll actually do. That'll be that one. We're going to do the headline copy, EMF protection. And this is one of the most important things is getting this everything ready, right? So this is EMF protection. You're going to be seeing a lot of in our like our consensus marketing of our memes. We're going to be focusing on the EMF stuff because it's something that's good to put out there. I've been studying it and seeing products and services that are there and then trying to emulate it. It is a growing concern, and it's one of those situations where here's what I see. If I had a crystal ball, and as much as I can foresee in that crystal ball, there are going to be events, probably sad events that happen where people are going to start running for solutions for this. We need to put it out there. People are already looking. It's a growing keyword search. It's why I like it. That's why I call it keyword centric, which means there's a lot of keywords. It's a very good place for us to advertise. And we're going to bring a lot of people in. They're going to want stuff like this. I want to hit my plus real quick. Even though my tux probably needs to be taken in another inch, Niall, I just cannot believe that once these products kicked in gear and everything's working, I'm just becoming the me, right? I'm becoming the me without the extras. It's freaking awesome. And I'm glad we have products to help with the brain fog, but there is a fundamental thing happening with the EMF. And if we have the right protection, it's going to make the products work better. Just because just what it does. The EMF frequencies of the protection devices, the right ones, actually changes the construction of the cellular composition of foods. And this is kind of going deep on this, and I'm trying to play with this a little bit more. So this is where I get a little bit more abstract, and writing abstract is actually a good direction. But have you guys ever noticed over the last years, and maybe it's just me, and you guys, I really try to get in tune with with tasting, mainly because of the wines, right? With the palate and everything, and get the training I've gone through for that. But food seems to have tasted differently over the years. Like it's transformed. Like apples don't quite taste the same as I remembered from younger. And I remember saying that and noticing it. And the more aware you are of something, the more you dive in. I'm going to tell you, I think we're going to, know by we'll call it next Tuesday, right? We're going to be discussing some things, not next Tuesday, the 27th. So the 20th, massive things to talk about. And I'm hoping to be rolling out something on the 20th. And then everybody that's there on the 25th will get it regardless. Like goodies, guys, the goodies we get as marketers. But on the 27th, we're going to be discussing some amazing, yeah, I'll be quiet. The 27th, I can't talk about it till then. It's going to be awesome. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of the added headlines here and the copy. And we'll come back to this topic. We have so many, like, I don't even know where to begin sometimes, right? There's like, where do you start? There's so much. It's just good to pick something. And we're gonna be working on the EMF protection. I'm gonna be working on Protect from EMF. This is on the Home with Tanya link. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it here. That's the market. That's the link I'm gonna be marketing. That's the link we're going to be marketing. So I'll go ahead and get it in place. So I got the headline. I got headlines and copy on this one. I have two of them. I'm going to do number one. And I'm going to do number two. You guys all pretty much should know how to post ads, but the number one thing I'm going to work on today is content to post. And if I get to posting, great. And I'll start working on some ads so people can see them on there. I'm just getting the structure on this. I'm gonna show you something. I just type fear of EMF in a Google search. This is unfreaking believable. All right, so I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of opening up a Pandora's box here if you haven't done this already. Fear of EMF. Look what comes up. Electromagnetic hypersensitivity is a condition defined by the attribution of non-specific symptoms to electromagnetic fields. Here's the thing. EMF, literally, by definition, from what I've been reading, it's like a silent killer, right? You don't see it. It has effects. The more, a little bit our body can deal with, but too much starts changing things. And it starts affecting our brain. That it's like dementia. you don't see it and it's happening. So the more you understand this, the more you're going to realize, we probably should do something about this, and sooner than not, right? So I'll let you guys know this. I don't ever focus on a problem unless I have a solution. I don't like to just put information out. I like to put information out that also has a solution. That's where the monetary gains are. And it's also, I've always believed in, if you're going to bitch about something, which is what I'm doing here, I'm bitching about this, you better have a solution, not just a complaint. You better come with a solution. So I'm presetting the stage for what I know we can do in what we have now and things that are coming. But look at this. I did fear of EMF. I don't know if you guys are catching on to this. There's no ads here. There's 1.4, there's 1.5 million results. There's no ads here. They're on the bottom. Okay, there's some on the bottom. Where to get radiation near me? That's what I want. Where do I get radiation? I mean, EMF exposure in Riverton, results for exposure. This is that's the city where I grew up. So here we go. There's all sorts of things coming in here. People are testing. They're looking for, like, you guys, Wi-Fi sickness. You guys ever heard of that? I have. There is this EMF, too much EMF is causing issues. All right. When I say it's a problem, I'm not thinking it's a problem. I'm telling you that it is. I'm also telling you we've got solutions, and we need to get poised and get the word out there. But keyword for someone to use, I really should even write it down here, fear of EMF. So I'll actually put on the number 1, keywords from Rory. And I'll go to 12 point here. There's a lot of them. These are all keywords you can build pages on, pages around nonstop. When I said it's keyword centric, there's a lot of directions to go. And these are ones that we need to start dominating on. And this is something that's going to take us a while. We need to start doing it though. So this stuff is, I mean, right here, this is a whole, you can do a whole page on electromagnetic hypersensitivity. All right. And I'm going to point this out. I've gone through this stuff, and I was like, where do I show you guys all this stuff today and share the research, right? And that's what it is. This right here. Look, I'm on just the fear of EMF. I'm going down this rabbit hole, right? They started noticing things as far as scientists and experts in 1991. I was a junior in high school in 91. 91. You guys, that's almost 3 decades ago, or is it? It's over 3 decades ago, and they've added so much more. So back then they noticed an issue, and then we just keep adding more. Look, here's another keyword. These are all key phrases we should be using. I'm gonna keep adding it. You cannot over prepare for the work you're going to do. And the more I do this for us, we all know the direction we're going. We're going to do it by consensus, right? Look at this. Amazing. Headache, fatigue, depression, anxiety, EMF exposure. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Like, you guys, this is a serious issue. And this is from 2021, okay? It says can cause. If they're actually admitting that it can, it is, right? Electromagnetic field exposure induced depression. How many guys? They're compounding and adding stuff. Now I'll put this out there. If I was a conspiracy theorist, and I like to tend that I like to go that direction, because I really think we should question all types of government and what they're doing, because they usually have an agenda that isn't for our best interest, and that's just based on history. I'm just putting it out there. But it seems to me that when all these people are stepping out, and a lot of them end up missing or committing suicide or whatever, they come out and say, hey, this 5G is bad. This isn't good for us. This is bad. This isn't good for us. How many times do we need to hear an expert say something that goes against, like, even his colleagues, and we just say, oh, that's just another whack job. Well, how many whack jobs do you need to hear from before you realize, oh, there might be something to this, right? And I'll go into a sensitive subject here, and I'll say it in the right way. So I'm going to try to couch this and say, what if they created some reason that we had to get certain things put into our body through a shot that only made EMF amplify even more? What if they did something like that? Wow, what does that mean? And why would they do that? And for what purpose, right? All these things that sound like so wacky, yet you look around and I'm seeing it not wacky. Okay. All this stuff comes in here, mental illness and all these things. But you guys, what is the safe distance from EMF? If the power lines are more than 300 feet away, there should be no cause for concern. Okay. Let's talk about electric vehicles. And this is something that needs to be brought up. If you're an electric vehicle with electric motors, is that equivalent to the motor or the EMF that's coming from the power lines, which they do not regulate, by the way? Is that enough? And if so, is me sitting by that engine within feet of it, is that harmful possibly? Just so you know, I'm not a big proponent of electric vehicles. In fact, I'll be the last person you guys ever hear buying electric vehicles. It doesn't add up to me. I see more harm than good. I see it costing more than not. And I really like the rumble of a freaking, aspirated engine. I like my twin turbos. I like that raw muscle and that mechanical feel. And it just feels better to me. I've been in electric vehicles. I like their speed, but I just don't like the feel of it. And there's just always been something about it. I'm also going to tell you that all my friends that drive electric vehicles are some of the most anxiety, stressed out individuals I know. I'm sure it's a coincidence. I'm sure it has nothing to do with EMF and concentrations of it, right? I mean, why would anything be out there to harm us? Okay, so as my sarcasm is overwhelming. It can affect our sleep. And we have products to help this work, but what if we have something that's going to help it work even better and help reduce the radiation at the same time? You guys realize that we have all these great products, and I'm just going to say a couple things. The Vellavita product line works for me. I'm a walking billboard. I also do a lot of things to protect my body from EMF. It's around me everywhere. And I don't just do one thing, I do multiple things. There might be something to it. I was thinking about it, not recently, but for a while now, and why I get different results than others. But I do things differently than a lot of other people because I do research, I go down rabbit holes. And that's one of the things that's good about what we do is we are keeping educated and passing information on there. And the more information we get out there, check this out. The more our information is received, the more it becomes shared, the more traffic we're going to get, the more we're going to make, and the more awareness we're going to tie in, and the more awareness we bring in, the more people we bring into our marketing house of our PBS, the more upside we have. I'm just saying, it's kind of cool. All right, so I got all this information to write on. And, I was going back to this. And you guys, I'm just showing you how I do this. Like I used to just think everybody could come up with this stuff. I'm walking you guys through my process, right? These are all great keywords. You could write an article on every single one of these. Sheila already probably is, right? Like she's probably knocking these out one by one by one by one. She gets it. And you guys, the spacing is going to bug me. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to tell you one good article indexed properly can bring you hundreds of thousands of visitors a month, a week, a day, an hour. I've had it happen. I've seen my Google AdSense money go from, tens of dollars a day to hundreds of dollars a day, all because of exposure to one article, one item for a while. And we're just trying to maximize that. So now that we have a very good structure, everything that we have here, we've perfected the way we get students up and going. Now I'm going to really focus with you guys on how to get this out there, how to gain that traffic, how to grow the exposure so that we're building everything. right? It's an ecosystem of success, and we have our own personal success in our PBSs, and then we have the team efforts with everything else that we combine with on our anchors and how we build. We have the most amazing opportunity here, and we've made it better and better and better. And it's everybody doing it, improving things out. Anyway, every one of these things that are in here, the reason why they're on here is people are looking for it. So they're gaining the information and putting it out there. Does a pillow block EMF? No. That. I'm telling you, they put this on here because people are looking for it. It wasn't one person either. So when you're going down this rabbit hole and things, I mean, look at this. I mean, this stuff just, all of these things are things you can write about, right? And you can get information about it, and then cross-market tie-in. I mean, it's endless. It's keyword-centric, right? It's something we can write on forever. I mean, this is almost, mobile is more dangerous than mobile radiations are more than a laptop. Okay. I mean, like, you know, if you want to like be worried about where technology and the effect of it, right? I mean, does iPhone get off radiation? Yes. All of this, right? Look at all these. I mean, I can keep going, right? Exposure levels, like, the study recommends carrying against phone in a pocket, bra, or belt holster. I think every woman pretty much puts her cell phone in their bra at some point. It's they have that extra place to put stuff. Belt holsters, I hated those. I've always hated them. I remember when they first came out, actually. But pocket, my cell phone's always in my pocket. If it's not, and I use headsets so that the cell phone's not directly to my head. Also, I think it sounds better, but it's in my pocket. Where else are you gonna put it, right? I try to keep it away from me when I'm working. I keep it on the desk, but it's by me. Put it by I have one of the things we got from the marketplace where we market this stuff from. I got the stickers on the back of my battery packs just to help with this thing. You know, the more you read about it, you're like, I got to do something. Your front left pocket is a prime location, right? I don't put anything in my front left pocket with my keys. So all this stuff is just, it's amazing. I think you're gonna like, it's a rabbit hole. You can just go down forever. Okay, forever. The thing about cell phones, right? Or how many cell phones are in our house? It's at least one per person above the age of 8, it seems. Kids get it at a younger age. I mean, think about what we've been doing, right? So there's got to be a way to protect it. And we've got solutions. We've got awesome things on the horizon too. Okay. And I'm getting, here's the thing is these headlines are going to sound kind of brutal, but there's a lot that ties to it. And so I'll just keep writing this content, ad copy. I try to do my ad copy to match the headline as much as possible in case I haven't done that. I don't like to put the number 1 here because it makes it hard to copy and paste, but here I will. or electromotor force. There's different things to say. I'll say EMF. I'll just put radiation from all things electric. We're not going to make any medical claims, so we got to be careful about that always, right? But eliminate the heightened risks. We are constant. Okay, and it's just there. Now I'll tell you, like, there's certain projects and products that are marketed fear related, right? Insurance, right? When somebody has a death in the family, life insurance is something everybody thinks about, right? And when a friend of yours dies and they leave their wife and kids without any life insurance, everybody thinks about it. This is a silent, ongoing threat to, and harm. And people usually, I mean, people are usually more apt to make a change when it affects them, right? We don't proactively think, hey, this is going to cause me a problem in 20 years, I'll fix it. If it did, vitamin sales would be even more than they are now. It's like people don't believe in proactive. They care about instant gratification, what's in it now. So when you're writing this stuff, you want to focus on the now, not in 20 years. It could really, we know that it'll be bad. I mean, what are the exposures going to be after you've had a long-term exposure? Yeah, that's definitely a thing to consider, maybe add into an article. But when you're trying to get someone to respond, you want a now response. So you got to write a now message. Just keep that in mind. And this is Oh, I was getting some headline stuff from this, but it's and I'll tell you, when I'm placing the ads, sometimes you can't copy and paste these in the ads, but I like to spell it out. I like to do this. I like to like do the list thing a lot because it makes it easy to read. So there's 4. I'm at the top of the hour. That we're making progress. We're getting ready for this. This is something I want to spend a lot of time on. I'll go ahead and stop my share. Yeah, I want to be placing ads every day, but if I prepare this right for everybody, we're going to have a lot of work to work on. All right. Is this been helpful? Judy, is this helpful for you? That's my student Judy right there, everybody. Judy Vyhansky. I'm glad to see you on here today. I'll go ahead and stop this recording and get ready for the next hour. God bless. See you guys next training.